Okay, welcome back, everyone. And I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Coordinating Director for Humanities Team, and Spirituality and Global Oneness is one of our important panels this year, and it is beginning right now. We're going to talk about the process of really living as one with the divine, seeing the sacred in others, and our earth home, the process of communing with the divine within, and connecting with our Dharma, our life calling, that often involves community outreach or service work. Truly remarkable leaders are joining us this year: Doreen Virtue, Patricia Cota-Robles, Kenji Kimura, and Matt Kahn. If you are journeying into oneness and you'd like to embrace your fullest personal expression of this, you are in the right place. Don't worry about taking notes unless you want to. On the Global Oneness Day upgrade page, you can order MP3 links, transcripts, and CDs. We do have this $100 summit discount in place right now. And there are also on the specials page some courses that are related to Global Oneness Day. I'm going to introduce you to our panel now. I'll introduce panel members one at a time, and then we'll go right to questions and panel discussion. Dr. Doreen Virtue is a clairvoyant metaphysician who holds PhD, MA, and BA degrees in counseling psychology. Doreen now works in angel therapy in her writing and teaching activities. Doreen is the author of 22 books, which include Don't Let Anything Dull Your Sparkle, How to Break Free of Negativity and Drama, Divine Magic, The 7 Sacred Secrets of Manifestation, Messages from Your Angels, and Healing with the Angels. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Doreen.
Hi, it's great to be with you.
Well, great to have you with us, Doreen. Okay, and next up, Patricia Cota-Robles is the co-founder and president of the nonprofit educational organization New Age Study of Humanity's Purpose, which sponsors the annual World Congress on Illumination. She spends her free time freely sharing the information she is receiving from the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth. The divine intent of these celestial sharings is to give humanity greater clarity and understanding as we progress through these wondrous but often challenging times on Earth. Patricia's philosophy is, every person is precious and divine, regardless of how far his or her behavior patterns and life experiences may be from reflecting that truth. We are not the victims of our lives, we are the co-creators of our lives. Now is the time to create the lives we have always dreamed about. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Patricia.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's wonderful to be here.
Great to have you with us. And next up, Kenji Kimura shares and serves as an initiator of universal quantum energy and a catalyst for the New Earth consciousness. Sharing the joy of awakening with the world describes his life work. Kenji has a true gift in bringing forth ancient wisdom and life lessons with simplicity, humor, and lightness of being. His dedication to assisting others to enter the temple of their heart, connect with their true essence, and shed that which no longer serves them brought him to develop his own modality, quantum light weaving. Quantum light weaving is a unique approach to finding your soul purpose and deepening your psychological and spiritual awareness with ease and grace. The result is comprehensive assimilation and application of ancient wisdom and joyful living. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Kenji.
Hello everyone. Hello panel, hello Steve and Dee and our wonderful audience. It's an honor to share with everyone today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Kenji. And next up, Matt Kahn is a spiritual teacher with highly attuned empathic healer. His spontaneous awakening arose out of an out-of-body experience at the age of 8 and his direct experiences with ascended masters and archangels throughout his life. Using his intuitive abilities of seeing, hearing, feeling, and direct knowing, as an empath, Matt feels the emotions of others and is able to pinpoint what blocks any heart from opening. As a result, he brings forth revolutionary teachings that assist energetically sensitive beings in healing the body, awakening the soul, and transforming reality through the power of love. Welcome to Global Oneness Day, Matt.
Thanks for having me. Truly an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, I want to just say, as I'm standing here with the four of you, that I am honored to be here with each of you. Truly, it is a privilege and it's a pleasure. And thank you so much, each of you, for being part of the Spirituality and Global Oneness panel on Global Oneness Day. This is such an exciting panel. I've been looking forward to it for months. We only have 1 hour, so let's go ahead and go right into our program. Let me start with this opening question, if I may. Each of you are powerful spiritual leaders involved in awakening oneness and raising consciousness. Can I invite you to share opening remarks that bring in your life work and Global Oneness Day themes, including being one with the divine and each other? And Doreen, would you want to start us?
Oh, thank you. I'm honored and appreciate it. And, this panel is an example of oneness because I've been doing spiritual teaching publicly for 25 years, and I remember the old days where we'd have to fly an airplane or drive somewhere to be on a panel. So to connect like this through technology, I think, is a sign of our progress, using technology for good. And I just want to thank you all for putting this conference together like this. One of the things that's on my mind was the hurricane yesterday, the hurricane warnings in Mexico. Having spent a lot of time in Mexico, I grew up in San Diego, so right on the border, and been really involved with weather my whole life. Right now, I've lived for the last 10 years in Hawaii, which is the most remote landmass on the planet, and sometimes is described as being very vulnerable. But weather's been something I've been really studying since I was a child. When I grew up in Southern California, there'd be a lot of hot days, a lot of smoggy days. It was before the time of any kind of regulations about emission controls. So it was worse then than it is now, believe it or not, in L.A. in the 60s when I was growing up. And I remember standing out in front of, on the kind of like the tarmac, the back area of the school, wishing the wind would blow. And I remember one day, in my head, I got this idea, this divine idea, to say, wind, blow. And I just said that in my mind, and instantly it seemed like the wind would blow. And as a child, I didn't question it, because children are all about believing and having faith. And so through my life, I would experiment with this. When I wanted the weather to change to the better, I would pray, and I would hold that intention for the weather to change. And then when I came across a study in 1997 by Roger Nelson out of Princeton called Wishing for Good Weather that you can easily look up his internet search engine, where there was a correlation between the Princeton graduations having good weather beyond statistical chance, just because all the parents wanted these outdoor weddings to have good weather, and also the California Pasadena Rose Bowl parades having statistically better weather than would be through chance. And yesterday, with the oncoming hurricane, I was woken up real early in the morning before the sun came up, and I received messages from beings that I call angels. In the Western world we call them angels. All of us have them. All of us receive messages. I think because I grew up with a very allowing family, they weren't discouraged that I connected, and so I've kept it up through adulthood. I'm 57 now. And the message I got was, it's been pretty quiet lately. There's going to be some drama today. And there was a message, I have to admit, about a false flag component. But I don't want to go into that because that brings up fear energy for everyone. But I did get a message someday I'll talk about that was about weather control going on there. But it said, get out of bed, start a prayer vigil. So I went on Facebook and just put, let's pray for protection. And next thing I know, this Facebook post to pray for protection was shared 40,000 times. And people from all around the world just started to pray. And we came from a place of power. And not one person is responsible. I mean, there was prayer vigils going everywhere, as I saw throughout the day. But I've been involved with this with other things, with hurricanes going to the Philippines, and there was one in Florida quite a few years ago. And what we do is we just say, oh, no, you don't, and we just demand, this is our planet. We've got the power. As it says in A Course in Miracles so clearly, that if you believe you're powerless, you're attacking yourself. And therefore, you're denying the fact that you're made in the image and likeness of God, so you have all the power to make changes. I think we too readily get involved with things we read in alternative news that, this corporation's doing this evil thing, or the government's doing this, and we have to watch that, because that's disempowering us. We have to say, no matter what they do, we've got the power, and we can stop hurricanes, and we can stop pesticides and chemicals throughout this world. And we just do it from love and that place of peaceful power, not through fighting back against evil, but by just claiming, you know what, I'm made in the image and likeness of God, therefore this will be done now. And I really believe that so many people around the globe praying for Mexico yesterday mitigated the amount of damage that was being forecast. I mean, they were saying it was the world's largest, beyond Category 5 hurricane. They were likening it to Katrina. And from what I've read, there's been no fatalities. I mean, there's been some damage, but nothing like they anticipated. We have the power, clearly.
Yes, we do. Oh, that's beautiful. Barbara Marks Hubbard is participating in Global Oneness Day this year, and she was calling in from down there. And, their program was fine. And I did see the inspiration that you put up on Facebook and that was shared all over the place, Doreen. So that's beautiful. And thank you for sharing. Patricia, if you could come in, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Steve. It's wonderful to be here. This is such a powerful opportunity for all of us to come together. There's so many things taking place in the outer world, and you had asked what my particular, or what all of our, motivation was, I think, in the work that we're doing. And when I was small, from the time I was little, I was always baffled and very heartbroken about the level of pain and suffering taking place on the planet, and that was my motivation, consistently asking God, why in the world is there so much pain on this planet? And then gradually understanding that the answer is not outside, it's inside, going within and doing the meditations, connecting with my God self, which then evolved into connecting with the company of heaven, all the legions of light that are assisting us, which we were never supposed to lose that ability. So my mission now is to help people understand that we are not these fragmented, fear-based egos or worthless sinners and worms in the dust, as we've been told so many times, but rather we are more magnificent than we could possibly imagine. And I have dedicated my life. What I understood and learned was life transforming. I didn't want anyone to not have access to that because of a financial obligation. So I've dedicated my life to making the information of empowering people to become their divine presence in as many ways as possible. So this is one of those awesome ways of doing that, and I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you, Patricia, and it's wonderful to have you. And, oh, my gosh, your work is making such a difference. We'll go deeper into that here during this hour program. Matt Kahn, if I could invite you to come in, you certainly are getting a lot of attention these days.
Well, thank you. It's really, again, an honor to be here and to participate. My spiritual journey began really when I was about 8 years old after having an out-of-body experience, and for the majority of my life I've had daily encounters with archangels and ascended masters, and have been really guided throughout my entire life to understand not just the human journey, the spiritual journey that, of course, is disguised and decorated as our human encounters. And one thing that I find really interesting about this time, there was a phrase that I brought forth a couple of years ago called meta-incarnation. Now, we all are familiar with the word reincarnation, which suggests that as souls, the characters we know ourselves to be in this lifetime is not the first time we've experienced life on this planet or in a particular form, that we have, of course, been here many times before. And yet the word meta-incarnation suggests that this is not actually the first time we have all lived out this particular lifetime in incarnation. That if we think of incarnations kind of like the Netflix for angels in heaven, that this lifetime we're living out, the first wave of ascension lifetime, is like one of the favorite movies for the angels in heaven, and that we are all living out this lifetime not for the first, second, or fifth time at all. That one of the things we do as we evolve our soul from incarnations is we like to go and have the same experiences, but each time from different timelines and perspectives. And one of the things that I bring forth that I find to be very interesting is that the reason we all have on this planet such a deep thirst and desire for spiritual evolution is because we've evolved before. We've made the transition from human ego into integrated spirit and form. We've all done this before. We've we've all experienced the ascension before. But what makes this time so important is the one thing we may not have been able to do or haven't done before is shifted from human ego into fully embodied divine presence in the most heart-centered way. And so whether we're talking about easing a healing crisis, whether we're talking about embodying our highest potential, or participating in the evolution of humanity and the ascension of Earth for the well-being of all, what I bring forth is a transmission of energy through my words to assist us in that evolution to being fully embodied and integrated beings of divine light, but in the most heart-centered and loving way. And of course, as we all begin to wake up, like we already have before, but in a new way we've never experienced possible before, every step of our evolution, every moment of our expansion occurs when we allow love to be our guide. It is love that brings us together. It is love that will have the final say in this adventure, and it is love that is awake and alive in every heart right now.
Oh, I love that. I love that. All of the this context you put around that, Matt. Thank you. And allowing love to be our guide. How could we not, huh? Kenji, and you have helped so many people to in their journey and deeper into oneness. Can I bring you in, please, to just share about your work?
Oh, you can bring me in, you can bring me out, or somewhere in between. I'd like to share a little analogy. So it's like you walk along the path of life, and occasionally when you go around a bend, you see someone on the ground that might be hurting or destitute in some level of pain. And so what the pilgrim can do is extend a hand to help that person up and to ask that person if they would like to walk along the path with you. And as you walk along the path together, you talk story, as they say in Hawaii, and share, and perhaps activate and receive. And that in one way is like how I see my life. I'm walking along the road of evolution, and I'm just like everybody else. And when we see people that are kind of like have fallen down and quite don't know how to get back up, you just extend a hand, a loving hand, and help them up and ask them to join you on your journey. And so every moment you're teaching in the now what is available directly for that person or for that group or for this audience, as we could be specific today. So perhaps join me on the walk and we can talk story.
That we will. So we've got we've got a whole hour here together to do that. And incidentally, I would be just thrilled if I were together with any one of you, and to be together with the four of you. Wow. Just why I made the remarks I did at the beginning of the program. And of course, this is Global Oneness Day, so it's perfect. Talking about spirituality and global oneness with you all. And we have over 60,000 people participating in the program this year. So thank you all for your support. Thank you to all the listeners for your support. Let's go down into practical ways that people can live in oneness, including ways that people can call in the divine and angels for support, because you all have brought that dimension in. And just in any particular order.
Okay, I'll jump in. Hi, it's Doreen. This is something I've been teaching in my career. It's been the main focus of my books and work, is how to hear your angels, how to hear the divine. And so, the first step is to not get hung up on any kind of terminology. There's a lot of people who've had negative experiences with religion, and also who've had what appears to be prayers that weren't answered, and so they've kind of given up on God or prayers or faith. But angels, what my studies have found is that they actually aren't, there's a crossover for sure with religion, and there's even a crossover with spirituality, But angels, I now believe, are part of our physiology, because as a clairvoyant, I see them with every single person, whether that person's what you'd call a good person or someone who acts in ways that are thoughtless, whether it's a person who's on the spiritual path or an atheist. There's angels with everyone, just like everyone has lungs and brain and heart. And the question is whether they listen to them or not. So, A, you have angels with you, whether you believe in them or not. And then the second thing is that angels are always talking with us. We can call it different names. We can call it gut feelings. We can call it divine guidance. We can call it intuition. We can say it's our higher self or our soul or God or Source or Allah or Buddha. The names, they don't care. They don't care about formal programs, or take this step or that step. What they want to do is they want us to be at peace. I mean, that's the whole focus of this universe is peace. It's such a high vibration that we're all going toward, or we're already there, really. It's just the awareness of what we already are and what we have. So with angels, it's like having a mentor, a coach, a professor with you at all times for free. And it really is just a matter of taking that moment to close your eyes and breathe, ask a question, and then really open your mind, because the answer may be something different than you expect or that your ego doesn't want. And that's the part that takes practice, isn't it? It's being open to thinking you're going on a path toward A, and the angels say, well, you'd actually be happier if you go on a path toward B. That's what happened to me when I thought I'd be a psychotherapist the rest of my life. And they told me, no, you're going to be, because psychotherapy always begins with the question, what's wrong? What's going on? What are you hurting for? They're really focusing on pain and negativity in a lot of ways. And angel therapy begins with, let's focus on love and breath and listening. And so it's similar in a way because it's about counseling, but it's just different in that its focus is all about positive and starting with the premise that you're already fixed, that there are no blocks, there are no problems, there are no neuroses. That's an illusion that the ego puts in front of us to distract us from our life purpose.
Beautiful. And again, we're opening a sacred space here, so just please, as you feel guided, just come in.
Yes, if I may. Oh, I'm sorry. Please go.
No, go ahead, Gandhi. I'll go in after you.
All right, we got the same way. We got the same intuition. That's awesome. I love that. I love when we all get the same instincts. I just wanted to follow up.
By the way.
Yes, this is Matt, by the way. Hello, everybody. Hello, world. Hello, oneness world. I wanted to follow up with just contributing something when you said oneness, and just what came up for me intuitively was, in order to make connection with oneness, we have to know what oneness isn't. And I think it's important to distinguish the word oneness from the word sameness. That each and every one of us on this call around the world are all on spiritual journeys. They are of equal importance. They are equal exquisite ways in which the divine expresses itself in physical form. And yet each and every one of us are going to experience every revelation, every aha, every expansion in a unique way. And I think sometimes what happens is we all look around at the experiences of others and we think, I don't know if I'm having the right spiritual experiences if it doesn't measure up to those around me, or maybe I'm having an experience that I don't see other people having, and it's an easy way for an energetically sensitive being to withdraw and isolate themselves. And so I think what's really important is that we understand that oneness isn't about us all being the same, isn't about us talking the same, and of course on this panel we are all a great example that we are all expressions of divinity helping to evolve this planet, but we don't all have to speak the same or share the same ideology in any way, which is wonderful because that's the abundance of the universe, that there are infinite pathways and ways to remember who you are and find your way home. And as unique expressions of divinity, the common denominator, as all of us wake up to the oneness of our true self, awakening out of the dream of conformity and sameness, the one unifying factor is that all of us may love differently. Some of us may hug another when they're hurting. Others may want to give space for their healing journey. But the one unifying factor is that within each human body, Every cell of your being represents another being in the world around you. And as you meet whatever arises in your body, emotional turmoil, mental disturbances, fears, anxieties, worries, if you start to realize that as your participation in oneness and the ascension of this planet, whatever arises within you is literally the next one in line to receive the love that only you can provide it, as you love this one universal body, every cell absorbs the love that you give it just by repeating the words, I love you, over and over again to your heart. And as you say, I love you to your heart, and the heart distributes that energy out to every cell of your body, simultaneously every being on this planet is uplifted with the love that you are sending to yourself. And so even though we are all unique expressions of divinity, we all love differently, and we all represent divinity in a very unique and extraordinary way. The one thing that brings us together, it is that we are all transforming our worlds simply by allowing our hearts to be first in line to be loved as only we can ever love it.
Extraordinary. Yeah, thank you, Matt. Wow. So, yeah, and this whole comparison thing, we've got to let that go, and it's our individual journey, and there's diversity, and just really have so much fun with our individual journey as we evolve and grow, and not try and compare it, and just celebrate it as you share. And I think, Patricia, you were coming in just a second ago.
Oh, okay. Let me pass it to Kenji because he was going to, we interrupted each other. Let him go ahead and go first, please.
Oh, Kenji, were you coming in a little earlier?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, that was Matt. Okay, excuse me. All right. This is such an incredible time, and when I really understood what oneness was, when I was shown by the company of heaven the magnitude of what that is, we talk about, God is love and love is all there is, and sometimes that seems like a lofty platitude, but the reality is that this all-encompassing presence that we refer to as God, this omniscient, omnipotent, all-encompassing presence of divinity is all that is, the cosmic I am. And there's different ways of describing that, but if we could think of it as this divine matrix within which every particle and wave of life throughout the whole of creation lives, moves, breathes, and has its being, within this body of God, all that is, every single thought, word, action, or feeling we express either adds to the light of all creation or adds to the shadows. There's no such thing as just having a harmless thought, because energy is vibration. And this all-encompassing matrix, the company of heaven, the legions of light, are standing in readiness, awaiting the opportunity to assist us, and they are as ready and as available as our thoughts. All we have to do is think of that. And from this divine matrix, which is really the causal body of God, where everything begins, the initial foundation of this matrix is divine love. And that is where this whole concept of God is love and God is all there is, that every single thing in all creation began from this foundation of love, which is not a sentimental emotion. It is the most powerful force in all creation. And everything that exists, whether we're talking about illumination, wisdom, healing, no matter what manifestation in the causal body of God, it begins with this foundation of love. So if we can go back to the foundation of love in our relationships, in our existence, recognizing the oneness of life, that there is literally and tangibly no separation. There's no such thing as us and them. Everything that we think, feel, and experience affects every other particle of life in all creation. We can begin working with that shift of consciousness and responsibility by saying, it's what I am thinking and feeling now, adding to the light of the world or adding to the shadows. And if it's not adding to the light of the world, we need to flood it with love, transmute it back into light, and say, what do I want instead of that, and then begin creating the thoughts and feelings that we want to manifest instead of that.
Such an important thing, too, just bringing back around. Everything is affecting everything else, so then staying focused on adding to the light of the world. Yeah, beautiful. Patricia, thank you. And Kenji, you often like to do experiential things that are so very powerful. So just let me, as you come in, please share in the way that you'd like to share.
Okay, we'll just do a little short activation. So what we're speaking to is the real you. And the real you has permission on every level to be that embodied presence of unconditional love and allowance, of divine knowledge, whatever you want to call it, in your embodiment now, beginning now. So you have the freedom to be expressive spontaneously, to share your knowing, and to be that radiant embodiment 24/7, ongoing, step by step, in every aspect of your life. So it's not hard. It's really quite simple, the process. It's not really a process. Just breathe in and feel the real you, beyond definition, beyond boundaries, beyond anything that you think you know. Breathe it deeply into the body. Let it become you. It's even more than the light. It's even more than the divine sound. It's that presence in the now that has always been connected with the God within. That is you. Breathing deeply into the soles of the feet so you can anchor it on the earth plane so that others, as well as the Earth Mother, can receive this. Know that you don't have to do anything. Just your presence alone will do it, will work. Share your smile, share your laughter, share your tears, share your joys. Be not afraid now. I and my Father are one. That includes the mother. That includes the son. That includes the daughter. That includes everything. Breathing deeply. Feel the power in your hands. You can bless your body wherever it might be hurting right now with your hands, using that power. And the peace that is beyond all mental understanding. That is your birthright. That is your gift to yourself. That is your gift to humanity. That is your gift to the earth. You can release the trying now and just allow to be. And to be uniquely you. And at the same time, connected with all that is, with all of your divine brothers and sisters, grandfathers and grandmothers, aunts and uncles, father and mother. And let's give together our deepest blessings for the earth and all of our earth changes in every country, in every civilization, within the earth, on top of the earth, and within the cosmos. And know that you are always divinely blessed, loved and supported and cared for. And so it is.
Let's just breathe into that. I definitely feel lighter. Kenji, thank you. That was beautiful.
Welcome.
Really beautiful. Thank you. Next I've just got two more questions for the group. I thought maybe the next one could focus on the inner journey, and then the one after that could talk about these enormous changes that are going on in humanity's evolution. Let's first go to the inner journey question. I see each of the four of you as demonstrating real mastery in your life, and so I'm curious, what approaches, when you, in your own spiritual practice, in your own inner journey, what are the things that you do and that you recommend to others? And we could just reverse the order if we want. Kenji, do you want to go first on that?
Okay, this is Kenji again. And this gratitude and being thankful. And I am really thankful for being where I am physically. It took me a very long time to get here. So I feel gratitude all the time for being able to be here and to go out into the area and meet new people and see all the different red rocks wherever I go and see the stars at night and the quiet. And that's a powerful thing, gratitude. So I meditate and I sit out on my deck and I connect every day with the red rocks and the trees and the birds, and it's just so wonderful to feel connected with nature again. So that's my personal practice in a nutshell.
Yeah, the Northwest has a lot of beautiful nature, doesn't it?
Well, I'm in Sedona now. I moved from the Northwest.
Oh, in Sedona, okay. Oh, well, yeah. Sedona, my God. Whew, I love Sedona. Well, awesome. And Patricia, I think you were next.
Yes, there's, just the practical outer world things. Everything we do to raise our vibration helps us connect more easily with the higher realms of illumined truth. We are truly multidimensional, multifaceted beings, and the physical plane is not only the very least real of all of the dimensions we abide in, it's the very last dimension to reflect the changes that we're going through. So as we raise up in consciousness and connect with our multidimensional self, it's easier to bring forth the knowledge and to reach that spiritual place. So, trying to eat as clear a diet of all the practical things, more raw fruits and vegetables and organic foods and pure water, deep breathing, spending time in nature, listening to beautiful music, meditating, and all of those spiritual things that raise us at an atomic cellular level. But also then, through meditation and through connecting with that heart level, recognizing the oneness, that there is no separation, and the divinity within us, the I am presence. I am, when Moses spoke to the burning bush and heard I am that I am, we've known for millennia that is a code word that tunes us in on the all-encompassing presence of God. I comes from Alpha, meaning the masculine polarity of our Father God, the beginning. Am comes from Omega, the feminine polarity of our Mother God, meaning the ending. And we say I am. It is connecting with God, all that is, the beginning and ending of all that is. And so when we say our I am presence, that's connecting with that part of us that is our reflection of our Father, Mother God. And because we are one, we can say, I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. And through my life, I want to connect with the divinity in every man, woman, and child, no matter what the outer world circumstances are, recognizing only that divine presence, invoking it into manifestation. And we can recognize the divine in all of the elemental kingdom, in all of the angelic kingdom, and in every even atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life. So as I walk through my day, striving moment by moment to recognize only the divinity and to transmute everything that conflicts with that back into light through the power of the violet flame, that balance of our Father, Mother God, is the way that helps me the most in my spiritual path.
Yeah, let me say, too, as I mentioned, I do see mastery in all four of you, and you can hear it in your voices. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Patricia. And Matt, I think you were next up.
Yeah, so in terms of a practical application of what we're talking about, so that every participant can really bring to life their greatest contribution for the evolution of this world. Many years ago, in my discussions with the universe, I was given a phrase, an instruction, in a very cryptic fashion, and all I was told were 4 words, and the 4 words were, whatever arises, love that. And based on my open dialogue with the universe, I could very well have asked for clarification, but what I decided to do is I just wanted to test it out for myself. And so I took a walk around my neighborhood, and whatever would arise in my awareness, I would simply send love to it. A bird flew by, and I sent an I love you to the bird, and a city worker was using a loud jackhammer on a construction project. That got my attention, so I sent love to him. And I just went around sending love to whatever got my attention. And then I realized the deeper invitation, even though that's a wonderful practice, just to silently send a blessing of I love you to whatever shape or form that you see around you. I then realized that the perception of an outside world was only decorated in the specific way it seemed to me, just to instigate certain feelings and experiences in my body. And when I would feel each emotion arising many years ago, I realized, these were all of the feelings that had experienced a multitude of emotions, but the one thing it had not received was the love that others from the past weren't able to provide. So the real teaching became known to me as whatever arises as my response to what I see is next in line to be loved as only I could love it. And as I would love whatever would arise within me, as if each feeling, each thought, each emotion was like an infinite processional line of children that dwelled within my heart. And when it was time for one of those children to be loved by its divine parent, it would tug on my pant leg through an emotional response of some sort that was instigated by the activity of the world. And instead of thinking as, I'm reacting or this is not what I'm supposed to do, I realized that what I'm feeling is what's healing, and I'm not feeling what's stuck. I'm feeling what's trying to leave and return to source. And it was my ability to love what arises in myself that accelerated the process of clearing the cellular debris out of my body, returning it to source, and becoming a fully integrated expression of divinity. And even in this current day and age where this is the basis for the teachings that I bring to so many around the world, I still do the I love you practice on a daily basis, because in my heart dwells all of existence. I do the I love yous for the world that is still waking up to love. I do the I love yous for those that don't know how to love themselves. I do the I love yous for those that are afraid they're unworthy of love. And what we find is that by loving our one heart, we become the first ones that are purified, transformed, and awakened by that process. But it's as if our energy keeps spreading out to outer spheres, and we continue the process until the love that we provide ourselves on a daily basis brings forth an entire universe and transforms civilization that reflects back to us the truth of our own divine nature. So the practice that I love, that I could spend infinite lifetimes exploring just for the joy of watching beings awaken and blossom to their full potential, is loving this one heart as a love letter to all beings and to all hearts in existence.
I'm thinking about now Oprah's probably trying to call in to she's probably envious. This really is, it's extraordinary. Thank you so much, Matt. That was beautiful. And Doreen, love to hear about your spiritual practices and inner journey.
Oh, thank you. Well, for me, it starts with the moment you wake up. We have to feed our soul with something nourishing and positive. So before you check your Facebook or your email or take a phone call or talk to anyone even, make sure that you take a moment to either meditate or I've found it really helpful to read something that's very inspiring and very positive and love-based. So that's my practical tip for everyone, is just make sure the first thing that you put into your soul, into your mind, is completely on that positive wavelength, and you'll notice it makes a huge positive difference. Even, it doesn't have to be something you read. You could pray before you get out of bed. That will help you to lift your soul. To me, spirituality is what we're all doing. We're all a work in progress. We're all going through an inner journey, no matter what. You can't not be on an inner journey, and we're learning, and some people choose to learn through pain, chronic, emotional pain or existential pain and physical pain, chronologically. Some people are not aware they have options to not be in mental anguish or experience lack. I think those of us who've got ourselves out, we have an obligation to help others to awaken as well, and that's what we're doing with this Global Oneness Day, is saying, hey, there is a way where you don't have to be in pain, and the world can be this complete expression of joy right now, right here, because that's the spiritual truth of all of us. But the main thing for me in practical terms is it's really important for optimal happiness is to walk your talk. If you're doing anything that you feel deep down, I shouldn't do that, your soul will know the difference, and you'll lose that self-respect. So everyone's different. For some people it'd be, I know I shouldn't smoke, or I know I shouldn't, be at this job and sell out and only do things for money, or I know I should exercise. Those shoulds, of course, psychologists for years have said don't should on yourself, but there's something there to our consciousness. There's that call of the higher self that says, hey, there's a higher path. If you'll just do yoga today instead of sitting on the couch all day, if you'll try meditating or call that meditation teacher that we keep sending you signs to go visit, there's those practical steps of what we do with this shell, this human body, that do make a big difference. The angels liken it to tuning a piano. Music is always harmonious, but if you tune the piano, it's in tune, and our bodies are like that piano. So if you're getting a message to stop drinking coffee or eat organics, don't worry about how much it costs. Don't worry about the how. Just do it. And the universe will catch up to you and support you in doing that. And you'll feel so much better about yourself because you're walking your own talk.
Yeah, I love that your posts, Doreen, emphasize that. You're always bringing in your own diet, your own automobile, the Humane Society, all of these things. It's wonderful. And gosh, when we talk about waking up, growing up, and cleaning up, maybe in the area of cleaning up, it's just really paying attention, like you say, to these things that to walking our talk, and because we sure feel a lot better when we're living out what we know to be true, don't we?
Yeah, guilt is very corrosive. The angels say guilt clips the wings of light workers. And so we want to do everything possible to not be wallowing in guilt. And that means don't do something that makes you feel guilty. Just stop doing it,
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Beautiful. Well, let me go to the last question here. We've only got 12 minutes. I'm going to need probably a minute and a half, 90 seconds or so to transition to the next panel. So if we can have shorter responses on this one, I wanted to just bring in that we are in the midst of enormous change in humanity's evolution. You all, I think, have referred to that. Can you talk a little about this? And Patricia, on this one, would you want to go first?
Sure, I'll be glad to. This is truly a cosmic moment on this planet, and we're in the midst of a unique experiment that's never been attempted before. And whether we're consciously aware of it or not, each and every one of us has been preparing for lifetimes to fulfill our unique facet of the divine plan. Never has a planet that's fallen to this depth of negativity and separation and duality been given an opportunity to move forward this quickly into the light. And this is all based in what we've known of as the shift of the ages. And just very quickly, in 2012, we heard about December 21st, 2012, and we focus mostly on the Mayan calendar. But the beings of light said the shift of the ages is actually a moment in time that happens every so many millions of years, when cycles within cycles within cycles throughout the whole of creation dovetail into one rhythmic momentum with the heart of our Father, Mother God. And during that cosmic moment, all creation is breathed up the spiral of evolution to the next octave of our learning experience. And that actually occurred for the planet Earth and all creation on December 21st and 22nd in 2012 when we aligned with the galactic core of the Milky Way. And because of myriad activities of light that took place the decades before that, literally all life on this planet was able to move forward. And we have what Legions of Light have said, literally birthed a new Earth. And so now the light is coming into the planet. Each and every one of us are awakening in quantum leaps, and we are beginning to remember why we are here and what we have agreed to do. Everybody has a unique, wonderful thread they're weaving into this unfolding divine plan. Nobody's part of the plan is any more important than another. So what's happening now, we are receiving unprecedented celestial assistance, and we just experienced in September these incredible solar eclipses and lunar eclipses and the solstice and an influx of gamma rays from a unique experience that happens only once every 3,600 years. So there's myriad outer world events that are taking place. But what matters is that we listen to our heart. And it's not that we're going to have some major event that we have to stop doing everything to fulfill our divine plan. Our divine plan is adding to the light of the world through the power of divine love every single moment, with every single breath, with every single experience that presents itself to us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Patricia. And we've just got a sacred space here, so please, and any of you come in next.
Okay, this is Kenji from Sedona again. So, how about we shift our awareness to know that the unknown and the unseen is a good thing, and that we actually relish it and invite it to come forward, and that in moving into the unknown, in what is not known to your conscious mind, using our power of faith and embracing the frequency of trust, that we can move mountains, that we can move through any changes that are occurring within ourselves and upon the earth and the galaxy and the solar system. So imagine that the unknown is now your friend. The unseen is a friend, your ally. That you look forward every day in moving into that which you cannot see or feel, knowing you're on the right path, or being divinely guided by your I Am. All is well. You deserve the treasures of heaven and even of the earth. Be at peace and know all is well.
I'm receiving that, and I suspect I speak for everybody here. Kenji, thank you. And Doreen and Matt are left here.
Yeah, if I can jump in. This is Matt once again.
Perfect.
Thank you. When we are able to, whether in the movement and pace of our life, or whether taking a break from the roles and responsibilities we play out during this lifetime, whenever our attention returns to our heart, whenever we become the one that gives us the attention we've always desired, whenever we become on the receiving end of our eternal gaze, we start to go through a magnificent transition. We start to go through a transition where we are extension of this planet, not just residents of a planet ascending. Are the awakening of consciousness, not just beings who are expanded and being uplifted by the forces within. We are what all of life seeks in its deepest desire of spiritual knowledge. not the ones chasing after the next insight necessarily. And each time we return our attention to our heart and just whisper the sacred words, I love you, into our heart. And if by any chance the words I love you just seem to have an association to something unfortunate in the past, you can ask your heart, what are the words I've always wanted to hear from others that I either never heard or didn't hear enough of? And whatever those sacred words are becomes what I call your personal love statement. And that personal love statement becomes your own healing mantra to say to your heart as many times as you desire, so that you shift your attention from being one who is trying to return to divinity to being the divine light of the universe that has experienced itself in such individualized form. And that every time we love our own heart, we are participating and contributing in the evolution of this planet that simply reflects to us the light of our own inherent perfection. So it is by the grace of love that we offer to ourselves that we awaken the infinite gifts of spiritual expansion for one and all, and we take a quantum leap, step fully into the light of our highest potential, knowing that no matter how we act, no matter what we think, or however we feel, it's yet just another invitation to stop for a moment, to love what arises, and to participate in the evolution of our beloved and beautiful civilization. May all beings be blessed in your almighty presence as the love that you are, that I am now.
Oh, beautiful, Matt. My gosh, thank you so much. And Doreen, yeah, with a couple, I think we've got about 2 minutes.
I see that. I'm a triple earth sign, so I'm all about being grounded and being, aware of the earth time. So it's no problem. It really is about laughter and about joy, so it's good to end on the, the silly note of the inner child. I think mainly what I just want to say is that everyone listening is a spiritual teacher. It's not just those of us who are, our names are out there or we're published or anything like that. Every single one of us is a spiritual teacher. So you listening, you're a spiritual teacher, and you can't not teach, especially your children. They're more paying attention to what you do than what you say. So just let's be conscious of what we do and know that there's a huge ripple effect with every action that we make. Every food that we buy, we're, voting with our dollars what we want on this planet for food. Every time we use a stress management tool, either yoga or alcohol, we're teaching our children ways to manage stress. So we're all spiritual teachers, so it's a huge responsibility, but luckily we've got so much support from seasoned veterans like all of us on this panel who are here to help you. God is loving you no matter how you feel about God. There's angels that have been given to each and every one of us. Remember to call upon them. And most of all, remember that you are powerful, more powerful than we have words to describe. So have fun with your power. Use it in the name of love and be happy.
All right, perfect. Well, oh my God, this was such an incredible panel. I've been looking forward to it for months, and candidly, my expectations were exceeded. So this was really awesome. I want to thank you all so much, Doreen, Patricia, Kenji, and Matt. Thank you. All of the speakers are freely contributing their time. Thank you for just coming in here on this day, Global Oneness Day, to share your wisdom and your heart energy, your love, your inspirations. Truly, this panel was exceptional, and so a deep bow to all of you. Thank you so much.
And we want to thank you for inviting us to your party and for being a great party host. Thank you.
Oh, I'll receive that. Thank you, Doreen. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate that. And thank you to all of the 60,000-plus people who are participating in Global Oneness Day this year and are listening by phone, webcast, and replay. I'd like to invite you to share any comments that you have on the Spirituality and Global Oneness event page on the Global Oneness Day site. I also want to thank people. There's a little donation thing on the Global Oneness Day page because we're almost all volunteer and humanities team. We're just really passionate about awakening the world of oneness, and a lot of people are donating. We've got an objective there of 11,000, and gosh, it's just jumped hugely today. So thank you to all of you. Also on the Global Oneness Day page, there is the schedule for events today. So we still have lots of incredible panels coming. I'm going to share the next panel here in just a minute. Go to the Global Oneness Day, globalonenesssummit.org, and over on the right side you'll see the panels that are coming here through the rest of the day today. And then there is free listening for 48 hours as well if you miss some of the panels. Next up is a panel that's called New Leadership Model for the 21st Century. This is a very important panel featuring Gene Houston, Irvin Laszlo, Ambassador Anwar Chowdhury, who was he's the leading emissary for the culture of peace at the United Nations, and he's the one back in 2010 that asked humanity's team to create a Global Oneness Day. We had no intention of creating a Global Oneness Day. We were asking the United Nations to create a Global Oneness Day, and he said, no, it'll take too long. There are 193 countries here, so you create it. So we did. Here we are in the 6th year. Also, Bill Urey's on that panel. Dr. Ken Gordon, who's the spiritual leader for the Centers for Spiritual Living, is moderating that panel. It's going to be incredible. Don't miss it. Before we go to our next program, we're going to enjoy a oneness moment and experience 10 seconds of silence so we may connect with the divine within and each other. Let's go ahead and begin our oneness moment now.